Good evening, everyone. It is now almost midnight Central Time. I want to give everyone an update since we've had numerous tornado warnings tonight and a few confirmed tornadoes. So, looking at the current radar here, I'm just going to show an overview until we get some people joining our live stream. Right now, we do have a tornado warning in effect. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. As we do have this tornado warning, it's just north of Davenport here. So let's go ahead and see if I can load up some National Weather Service Doppler radars here. Let me make sure I'm live first. And it does look like I am live here. So let me go ahead, and I have no viewers yet. So I'm going to go ahead and just briefly go over the warning and let people join. So this tornado warning is in effect. It's going until 12:30 a.m. It's a tornado warning for southeastern Joe Davies and central Kerr and southwestern Stevens County is canceled. So we did have that tornado warning that was canceled for those warnings, but now we do have a tornado warning that remains in effect for about another 30 minutes for central Cedar, Scott, and Clinton counties. At 11:47 p.m., severe thunderstorms capable of producing tornadoes were located along the line extended from Loudon to Durant, moving east at 60 miles per hour. So this storm here, just north of Davenport. So if you're in northern part of Davenport, be in your tornado shelter right now, as we do have this tornado warning in effect here. Let's go ahead and do a storm track here. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and turn on some radar. Bear with me for a moment. I just got into the weather lab, and I need to get some radar situated. So we do have a radar located right next to this tornado warning here. And so we'll go ahead and push the storm track button. So Parkview at 12:05, DRIT at 12:05, 12:20 for Comanche, Albany at 12:22, Albany, 12:23 for Clinton, 12:25 for Fulton, and 12:36 a.m. for Mount Carroll. Again, this is a tornado warning. The storm right now is pretty much right over Liberty right there, heading into Dixon right now. So we'll go ahead and pan out here and put this into motion here. As you can see, the storms are developing and then pushing their way off to the east, and we do have multiple areas of rotation. That's what's going to happen tonight in this setup here, as we do have an update coming in. So what we're doing is we're looking for inflow notches that could produce a tornado, and so tonight you're going to see several possibilities of possible tornadoes along this line as they work their way off to the east. And so let's go ahead and zoom out. Meanwhile, Davenport, the whole city of Davenport, you're also under a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. So again, this is something to definitely keep an eye on, as we do have the possibility of getting tornadoes. Meanwhile, we do have this severe thunderstorm watch in orange. It's going basically for 3 more minutes here until 12 a.m. So you could get some hail up to 1.5 inches and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So really, for the rest of the night, we're transitioning still tornado threat, but more straight line threat, with the possibility of a few spin-up tornadoes tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out and take a look down south, and we're going to work each storm one by one. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the Kansas City storms. Now, there is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for another 17 minutes for Pettis County. Those storms are producing 60-mile-per-hour winds and some small hail. And down towards, it looks like Warsaw, that's pretty much expiring right now. And we do have a little bit of a severe thunderstorm warning left. Let's go ahead and look at the data here. There were storms for Hickory, the warning for Hickory, western Benton, and northeastern St. Clair counties will expire. So that's good. I'm gonna look at the latest data. Let's go ahead and work this one up to the north. It's a severe thunderstorm warning for another 15 minutes for central Pettis County. So it's a severe thunderstorm located near Sedalia, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. So the main threat will be 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. We'll go ahead and put this into motion so we can watch the storm's track off to the east. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and do a storm track for you. And we'll take the leading edge of the storms. In fact, we just have a significant weather alert. Let's go ahead and take a look here. It's significant weather alert. It will impact Benton, northwestern Camden, and Morgan counties through 12:45 a.m. So Doppler radar is tracking severe thunderstorms along a line extending from near Sedalia to near Warsaw to near 6 miles east of Osceola. And movement tonight on these storms are east around 40 miles per hour. So definitely the big thing is gusty winds, as we've had numerous straight line wind events tonight. Lots of wind damage throughout the Kansas City region. Also, a few spin up tornadoes. And so that's the main threat tonight as we continue to watch this whole area. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and take a look down here in Oklahoma, as we did have a tornado, I believe, went through Enid. Let me go ahead and load the storm reports from the night. See if I could show all. Okay, how many hours can I go back here? Okay. I'm not sure if I can pull that one up, but in a few minutes I'll go ahead and take a look here. Okay, so here's a look at the radar for northeast Oklahoma. Biggest storms right now on this particular image are the storms heading towards Joplin. You're going to get 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and some small hail as this line makes it to Joplin. And it has a ETA in about 18 minutes for Joplin. Again, it may make it a little bit sooner to Joplin, but as you can see, these storms are racing off to the east, and that's why Joplin was just under a severe thunderstorm warning, and that's going until 12:45. So it's a severe thunderstorm warning for northwestern Newton County, southwestern Jasper County until 12:45 a.m. So both those counties are in southwest Missouri. At 11:59, a severe thunderstorm was located over Baxter, Baxter Springs, moving east at 45 miles per hour. So the hazard tonight is 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and some nickel-sized hail. So we'll go ahead and put this in motion again. So you can see the storms are racing off there to the east, slightly east-northeast towards Joplin and Neosho. Let's go ahead and take a look down here north of Tulsa. You still have those storms moving in. Those are still producing 50 to 60 mile per hour winds and some large hail. In fact, this little guy over towards Stillwater is producing 1.5 inches of hail. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to our next rad here out of Norman. Okay, I clicked on the wrong one. Let's get the data loading. So we do have the strongest storm located over Jennings right now in Stillwell, and then we do have some over here towards Tennessee. But again, these storms are moving off to the east here, producing 50 to 60 mile per hour winds and some very, very large hail. So those are straight line wind, and we do have that tornado watch that continues until 1 a.m. So a little less than an hour. Those warnings continue here. Meanwhile, we do have a larger severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect until 4 p.m. for large hail and damaging winds to 70 miles per hour. And let's go ahead and cover this flood warning for the Kansas City area. It's a flash flood warning going until 4:15 a.m. Get some more data. So it's a flash flood warning from the National Weather Service for Johnson County, East Central Kansas, Southwestern Jackson County, and West Central Missouri. Basically, tonight they had downpours, very, very heavy rainfall. So this was at 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, they already had 2.5 inches of rain. So good news is the rain for the Kansas City Metro is over with, but there could still be some rain just southeast of Kansas City, so Lafayette, Johnson County, down towards Clinton. And the strongest cell is in the Pettis County here in Sedalia. Right now, the storm is mainly over Sedalia, producing some heavy rainfall and some small hail at 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And we'll go ahead and zoom out here. Not much going on in St. Louis yet as we jump to the St. Louis radar site, and again we do see the storms off to the west, and those storms will continue to work their way to the eastward tonight. Let's go ahead and jump our way back up to the tornado warning north of Davenport. Now this tornado warning, as you can see a little rotation there, that mezzo is located basically west of Wheaton, it looks like. And so the storm is almost to DeWitt. So let's go ahead and take a look at the estimated time of arrival. Eldridge at 12:07. 12:08, Davenport, Rock Island, Parkview at 12:09. DeWitt 12:09. LeClaire 12:23, Comanche at 12:27, Clinton by 12:32, and then Fulton by 12:34. So we'll go ahead and put this into motion. Take a look at the general movement of the storms. So off to the east tonight. So again, we do have that tornado warning that continues just north of Davenport. Here's a severe thunderstorm warning for the whole region, basically, as this storm, regardless if you get the tornado or not, it's producing strong winds. But again, we do have that tornado warning that remains in effect until 12:30. It looks like for Clinton County, severe thunderstorms capable of producing tornadoes, and they're okay along the line from Near Welton to near Eldridge, moving east at 60 miles per hour. So definitely keep an eye on these storms tonight, as they will definitely be capable of producing some sped-up tornadoes here. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at comments here. Alright, I don't have any comments. Feel free to comment if you have any comments or storm reports here. Let's go ahead and work the line here. Let me know where you guys are watching, and I'd be glad to cover the storms in your local area. So I go to St. Louis. Give me one more. Actually, you know what? Let's go to the Joplin area. Load up that information here. Alright, so we got some very strong winds moving in. As you can see, the computer showing 60-mile-per-hour winds and some small hail. But again, these guys mean business when it comes to the strong winds. And we'll go ahead and put this into motion. As you can see, the storms are starting to move into the Joplin area, producing the very strong wind gusts out there tonight. So, going to check something real fast. Give me one moment to make sure I have everything set up correctly. Okay, it looks like everything's good. Alright, so back to the radar here. Okay, so here's Joplin. We do have the storms moving in. Let me go ahead and get the latest information here. It says severe thunderstorm warning basically for northwestern Newton County, southwestern Jasper County, going until 12:45. So we do have severe thunderstorms near Baxter Springs moving east at 45 miles per hour. So these guys down here producing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and some nickel-sized hail as they start to push into the Joplin area. If you live down in the Joplin area, let me know in the comments if you're getting any strong winds. And pretty much anywhere in the country, let me know where you're watching from, and I'd be glad to look at your local area. Let's go ahead and work the radar down to the south here, as we've had very strong storms tonight in Oklahoma as well. Let's go ahead and load radar out of Tulsa. And as you can see, these guys mean business. Pretty much all these storms are producing 55 to 60 mile per hour winds. So if you're anywhere in this line, pretty much just north and along I-44, definitely keep an eye on these storms, as they will produce some gusty wind tonight and some very, very heavy rainfall as these storms continue to work their way off to the northeast here. And I'm going to go ahead and work our way more west. Okay, yeah, that's not as strong. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and work the storms back up into Missouri, as we do have these storms starting to move through mid-Missouri. It looks like we do have a new watch being issued, maybe, or is that expiring? Let's take a look here. Okay, that's the watch until midnight that just expired. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. Is that the... Okay, 60 mile per hour wind gust. Okay, let's go ahead and load. Although that's a long ways away. Okay, sorry about that. Basically, mid-Missouri is in between two different radar sites, so I'm trying to get the closest radar sites. And I normally don't like to scan through the storms, but we're going to go ahead and take a look here. Let's go to Sedalia and see what we have going on in Sedalia. That's a severe thunderstorm warning, I believe, for another 5 minutes for Pettis County. Yeah, and that guy is producing 60 mile per hour winds and some small hail. And we'll go ahead and put this in motion as it's moving off to the southeast here. And this bluish area, that is a significant weather advisory for 55 mile per hour wind gusts and some small hail. So let's go ahead and shift radar sites here as these storms will begin to move into mid-Missouri. So Columbia out there, expect some thunderstorms within the next hour. Here's Boonville, Fayette, Blackwater. So the strongest part of this particular cell is near Boonville, around I-70 or so. And again, we do have that severe thunderstorm warning southwestward in Pettis County that is producing the 60 mile per hour wind gusts. So these storms get ready to move into Columbia, pretty much stretching really from Iowa down towards down through Macon, Moberly, north of Columbia. Those guys have been producing lots of severe weather tonight, lots of gusty winds and some large hail. Actually, more so on the wind. In fact, at one point we had a wind gust of 94 miles per hour. So very impressive. And again, you could get some spin-up tornadoes, but again, as we work our way into overnight, the threats really went down for spin-up tornadoes. But again, depending on the wind direction and the ingredients in the atmosphere, you could still have some spin-up tornadoes. But the main threat tonight as they move through mid-Missouri will be the strong gusty wind. Let's go ahead and work our way up to the north. If you notice, I didn't give much attention to that tornado warning because A, it was expiring, and B, there really wasn't very impressive when it came to a tornado warning. So meanwhile, though, for Davenport, Clinton, Charlotte, that's a severe thunderstorm warning going until 12:45. So what they did was they issued a broader area of a tornado, severe thunderstorm warning with a possible tornado threat. And again, the main threat from these storms up here in Iowa will be 60 mile per hour wind gusts. And sorry about the sweep lines starting to lag there. It's been a very long day, so Peter sometimes starts to do that after it's on for several hours here. So again, let's just go ahead and put this in motion here, as we do have a line of very strong storms moving through the Davenport area, producing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So that's why we have a severe thunderstorm warning up to the north. Now we're getting new information coming in on our NEXRAD Doppler radar. Again, these storms are pushing more off to the east here. So again, the severe thunderstorm warning will continue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out to show the area and put the radar back on here. And temporarily turn off the radar so we can go ahead and see the whole line of storms basically moving through the Midwest. And we're going to go ahead and do a reset here, basically showing the area of storms here. So the main activity for, at least for the rest of the overnight hours, will be across Illinois, in northern Illinois, maybe into southern Wisconsin, but there's no watch in effect right now. So that is a good sign. So again, you could still get some potential severe weather out of those storms here. And then again, through central Missouri, you have these storms that produce a lot of severe weather in the Kansas City area. In fact, let's go back here. I mean, we might as well go back, and we can see as the storms move through, lots of wind. There was a 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, 61-mile-per-hour wind gust, 62. So basically a widespread, some tree limbs down, basically 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and we had that funnel cloud over towards Baldwin City. And again, I'm just looking at the wind damage. We had trees and power lines down, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts as well. So a lot of severe weather tonight. Here's one down there, 4 miles east-southeast of Parker. That's in Lynn County, Kansas. That was a barn destroyed. So that line, zoom in, destroyed a barn when it moved through. And again, across west central Missouri, we did have those tornado warnings down to the south here. So Adrian, Uric, just north of Clinton. In fact, you guys had that tornado not too long ago that caused a lot of damage down there. But as of right now, the severe weather really has calmed down. The severe thunderstorm watch has expired. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and take a look here. The warning has expired, but again, we could start get 55-mile-per-hour wind gusts as these storms move through. I'm going to go ahead and zoom down to the next bigger guy. This is Joplin, and that's a severe thunderstorm warning. These storms moving into Joplin are producing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and some small hail. And then working our way to Oklahoma, we are seeing some reports of nickel-sized hail. Yeah, nickel-sized hail. And anytime you see these bright colors there, that indicates some very large hail in these storms. So we'll go ahead and put this into motion. You can see the storms moving through pretty much north of Oklahoma City now. Again, we've had tornado damage throughout the region. Looks like these storms are starting to be south of Enid. So that's a good sign for tornado search and rescue. Again, most of the severe storms are moving off to the east tonight, over towards Joplin. So the Ozarks, that's where we're turning our attention to right now for the threat of severe weather for the next several hours here, as we do have this severe thunderstorm watch in effect going until 2 a.m. All right, so go ahead and zoom out, show the whole region here. Again, storms are moving pretty much northeastern half of Oklahoma. We're continuing to see the threat of damaging wind and some large hail. And extreme southeastern Kansas, same thing. And then as we work our way into the Ozarks, that's the prime area of getting some wind damage tonight. And in mid-Missouri, the storms are really weakening up towards mid-Missouri, so up towards Columbia, Jefferson City. You guys could still get some gusty winds. So that's the main threat for you guys. And working our way up north into our Iowa region, the tornado warning that was in effect north of Davenport, that has since expired, and it now is pretty much a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts as these storms continue to work their way into Illinois out of Iowa. And looking up towards Wisconsin, we do have more storms up there, but the general garden variety type thunderstorms. So it's a good thing that we're not seeing widespread tornado warnings or anything like that right now. I just wanted to give everyone an update here. And looking in South Dakota, just to let you guys know that we are seeing some snow up here. Out by Rapid City in the higher elevations of the Black Hills, we are seeing some snow out there. Mostly it's rain down towards Rapid City and heading towards Wall, South Dakota right now here. So just want to give you guys an update on that. And let's go ahead and take a look at surface conditions, as we did have that cold front move through the area, dropping temperatures down. And that's another thing you're going to notice. And in fact, I'll go all the way back. You can see the temperatures, low 70s, but as the storms move through, it quickly drop behind that cold front. So that's what we're looking at now. Let's see if I can get the wind gust on there. I might be able to get the wind gust. Okay, yeah, not showing numbers here. So I'm going to turn that off here. Okay, there we go. Okay. Wait. Alright, just checking some stuff behind the scenes here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom out, show everyone a right area of the radar right now, showing where the storms are, and I'm going to check the comments. Okay, no comments there. Okay. Alright, so if any of you guys got storm reports, let me know. Drop your information in the comments about the storm reports. And we'll definitely take a look here. So I want to make sure everything is working on the OBS side. Yep, it looks like everything's good. Checking on that. I'm going to make one change to something real fast here. Okay. There we go. Okay. I wanted to make sure Oklahoma Lord's got on it as well. Okay, so back to the radar. So this is northeast Oklahoma, where we have that tornado watch in effect. We do have some strong storms north of Tulsa. There's Bartlesville, and it looks like we had some hail, nickel-sized hail. And again, main threats from these guys will be 60-mile-per-hour winds, and still a low-end tornado risk over here, especially over the tornado watch. So these storms are up over north of Oklahoma City, up towards the Stilwell area. And pretty much these storms really following a line from Tulsa up through I-44, moving into the Ozarks and moving into Missouri. We still have that severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the Joplin area. Let's go ahead and put that on the screen, get some information here from Joplin. Okay, here we go. So that is Newton County and southwestern Jasper County, that's what that is. And that is going until 12:45 a.m. So basically, severe thunderstorm is located over Galena, or no, Joplin, moving east at 55 miles per hour. So the main threat from these storms is the very strong wind as that continues to move into the area. And Springfield, let's go ahead and do a storm track for Springfield. Okay, so moving east, that's 54 miles per hour. Let's go ahead and do a storm track. Let's go ahead of the line since there's a slight delay. Okay, give me one moment. Sorry, I want to make sure I get the cities right. Give me one moment. Okay, so it's moving 72 degrees at 54 miles per hour. So it's moving like that at 54 miles per hour. 55 to be safe. So here's a look at some of the cities. I'll go ahead and put this over here. So 1226 right now the storms will be over Anderson and Neosho. 1229 Carthage, 1233 Granby, 1247 Peel City, 1252 Monette, 1257 Mount Vernon area, 1259 Greenville, 104 Aurora, 105 and Marionville. So those are some of the estimated times of arrival down here. So really it'll be probably within a little bit before 1:30 when the storms arrive in Springfield, it looks like, and Ozark, but basically be prepared for some gusty winds from this storm. And this general area is, I'll go ahead and clear that. And this area right here flashing, that is for Small Hill and 55 mile per hour wind gusts. So pretty much over towards Lamar, east of Pittsburgh. Definitely for Joplin, Diamond, and Neosho. Those areas are getting some strong storms right now, producing the gusty winds. So let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the region. There we go. Okay. A lot of data on the screen, so it's kind of hard sometimes to display all this stuff at once without getting too confusing. Let's go ahead and take a look at the storms in mid-Missouri for our friends up here. Just pretty much a big line of storms moving into the Columbia area right now, producing heavy rainfall, some frequent lightning. That's the main threat right now. Frequent lightning and some heavy, very heavy rain actually moving into Tacoma right now. So you may start get some gusty winds. No watch or warning effect right now for pretty much anybody in central Missouri right now. St. Louis, you're fine. You're not getting any storms. Burlington, the watch has expired, so that's good. Not seeing any tornado warnings for you guys up here. But Davenport, we'll keep an eye on Davenport. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the radar back on for Davenport. Actually, give me one moment to get the radar loaded. Yeah, storms really as weekend. Look at that. Yeah, storms have really weakened up here. So, really, this warning will likely expire as those storms have really died off. Yeah, you can get 70 mile per hour wind gusts out of those storms. That's it. Oh wait. Okay, sorry. I thought that was kind of odd. Okay, so there's still storms out there, of course. It was just showing old information. So here's a look at the radar. Sorry about the confusion there. As these storms continue to push its way off to the east, we do have other little tiny storms. But again, majority of the storms have really weakened up in Iowa there through the Davenport area. Still some strong storms moving into Wisconsin. So southern Wisconsin still going to get some strong storms. Strong cells up towards Madison right now. Let's go take a look at Madison. You got a few little cells popping up there, but you have all this stuff down here to the southwest that will move into your region. Nothing in Rockford right now, but you do have storms that will continue to develop along that line as those storms move out of Iowa into Illinois. And Burlington, you do have some strong storms too, working their way into the Burlington area. And let's go ahead and load up the Springfield area, or not Springfield, sorry, the St. Louis area. Again, you do have the strong storms moving into mid-Missouri right now. Strongest cell right now is just north of Columbia as these guys continue to move their way through central Missouri. But again, no severe weather alerts across mid-Missouri at all. Just a line of some thunderstorms that could briefly produce some strong winds. Working our way south to the Ozarks here. So here is the Springfield area. And what's happening is we do have this line producing very strong winds. That's a gust front. I shouldn't say very strong, but gusty winds. And we do have the line moving in from the west. So really it's along 49, Highway I-49, and 44 right now towards Joplin. And it looks like the strongest part of the storm just is over Joplin right now. Pretty much crossing I-49 right now. So let's go ahead and pause that and take a look at the storm track here. And a lot of this, let's get a new storm track, shall we? Okay, so I'm gonna put that there. Okay, just a little bit of lag, so I'll just draw on, oops. Okay, so let's try this again. All right, so I'll go ahead and go 72 at 54 miles per hour. Storm's moving down like that. There's some estimated time of arrival, so it looks like around 1:15 for Springfield. Let's go ahead and take the warning off here, clear this. So at 12:31, it'll be Cartridge and Diamond. At 12:43, it'll be over Saracoxy. 1 a.m. be over in Miller. 1:01 Mount Vernon. 1:11 Everton. 1:17 Ash Grove. 1:21 Walnut Grove. 1:26 in Willard. And 1:30 in Morrisville. And getting a little bit of strong reflectivity there, so you could get some small hail. But the main threat out of these storms tonight is the heavy rainfall, frequent lightning, and gusty winds here. So let's go ahead and zoom out and visit our friends in Oklahoma. We'll go ahead and go to the TASA radar. As you can see, these guys along this line producing winds. Now, I'm not seeing as many severe thunderstorm warnings as there was, so that's good news. But they're still producing 50 to 55 mile per hour wind gusts as they work their way off to the east. Still have some strong storms around Stillwater. These guys back here are producing 60 mile per hour winds and 1-inch hail as they do work their way off to the east. And I also want to remind you, we do have that tornado watch going for another 30 minutes. Not really seeing any tornado threat right now out of these storms here, but again, they could produce some small hail and some wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. So we'll go ahead and put this in motion. as they continue to track and work their way in. That line itself slowly moving towards OKC. So as we work our way through the night, we'll eventually get some winds from the gust front from their storms, and slowly moving into the city overnight. Mainly as the line moves slowly south, these lines are moving. Lines of storms are moving off to the northeast. So I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to zoom out and take a look at these storms down in Springfield. Okay, let's see here. Give me one moment. I'm going to go ahead and adjust the speed. Okay, that might not be as bad. Loop speed. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm just adjusting the loop speed here so it's not as fast. Okay. Okay, so back to the radar. We do have these storms moving through. They just moved through Joplin. We do still have that severe thunderstorm warning. Let me go ahead and stop it, zoom into where we're seeing the strongest storms. Located just east of Joplin now. And that's a severe thunderstorm warning remaining in effect until 12:45, so about 10 more minutes for north central Newton and south central Jasper County. So right now, looking at the radar, okay, the severe thunderstorm is located over Cartridge, moving east at 45 miles per hour. So we're looking at 60 mile per hour wind gusts and some nickel-sized hail as the storms work their way off to the east this evening. Here now we do have just issued. Let's go look at the latest data. Okay, so the area that's outlined in blue, strong thunderstorms will impact southeastern Newton, Barton, northern Berry, Lawrence, eastern Jasper, and Dade counties through 1:15 a.m. At 12:30 a.m., Doppler radar was tracking strong thunderstorms along a line extending from 7 miles east of Lamar to near to near Diamond to near Goodman. Movement was east at 50 miles per hour. So let's go ahead and do another storm track here. So we will take these storms. And we're going to go east at, I'll do 55, why not? We'll do it fast. So, 12:37, so right now, Cranberry, 12:57, it'll be Monette, 101, Mount Vernon, Aurora by 109, 113 in Maryville, 122 in Republic, 125 in Willard, 128 in Battlefield, and 133 for Springfield, and 134 for Nixa. So let's look at the storms there. The main threat from these storms will be anywhere between 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts and some small hail as these storms work their way off to the east. Now we'll go ahead and clear that off and move that up there, and then we'll go ahead and play the loop. As you can see, the storms move through Joplin and get ready to move into Mount Vernon, Missouri, and this is Monette. And for anyone watching, this is the southwest part of Missouri, down there in the Ozarks. This is a look at the Springfield area. And we'll go ahead and pull out, and we still have all the storms from Oklahoma that's pushing their way into the Ozarks right now, producing these storms tonight. So let's go ahead and take a look back up here into mid-Missouri for all of our friends watching up here. And we'll get the data coming in, as we do still have the strongest storms across mid-Missouri, just to the north of Columbia. We do not have any severe weather warnings or alerts in effect for those storms, so that's a good thing. But again, just be on the lookout for some strong storms tonight in those areas. Looking at the next route out of Springfield, Illinois, that is, sorry. Not seeing any severe weather from those storms. But let's go ahead and take a look into... yeah, it's still going to be a long ways away. Okay, let's look at Davenport. Switching radar here. Okay, so it looks like for the Davenport folks... One moment as it's loading the information. I'll go ahead and show you the warning that's in effect. It's going until 1:30 a.m. So here's a brand new warning. It is a severe thunderstorm warning for Whiteside County in northwestern Illinois, northern Henry County in northwestern Illinois, going until 1:30 a.m. So we do have severe thunderstorms located along a line extending from Andover to Barstow, moving east at 45 miles per hour. So the main threat would be 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts out of these storms. And I think this radar up here is down, so, or at least it's not updating. Let's see if I have... there we go. Okay. So here's the information here. I'm going to turn that sweep off. There's so much movement through here. So yeah, we had some very strong storms move through the Davenport area. So I'm not sure if the radar is detecting the actual intensity correctly right now. I'm going to turn that off. Yeah, I just don't think the radar is showing intensity properly. But you do have that severe thunderstorm warning up here. Let's go ahead and read the counties off so we know. It's for Whiteside County in northwestern Illinois, northern Henry County in northwestern Illinois. This is going until 1:30 a.m. Central Time. We do have severe thunderstorms located along a line extending from Andover to Barstow, moving east at 45 miles per hour, so 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts to be expected. And I realize the radar doesn't look too impressive right now, but again, I really don't think it's working that well. We had a strong storm move right over our Doppler up there, so again, we do have that warning though. See if I can scan it from all the way from Chicago, still long ways away. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, I think Davenport's having problems loading right now. They've had a lot of storms tonight. Just looking up the Milwaukee area up here in Wisconsin. We do have storms over Madison. Nothing severe, but they could produce some gusty winds. Looking at our Doppler from Chicago, no storms in Chicagoland right now. We just have the strong storms up towards Rockford. Central Illinois, pretty much just the storms way off to the west of you. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the St. Louis radar here, and we are seeing a line of storms moving off to the east here. So let's go ahead and zoom in here. So north of Columbia, getting some really strong storms right now. Nothing severe, but they may produce some gusty winds, and definitely are producing some heavy rainfall out there right now. So that's all that's going on mid-Missouri. Down towards the Ozarks, those are some pretty strong storms out there. Let's go ahead. Take a look here. Give me one moment to get the site here. Okay. Not sure why it's not letting me select the site here. It can be a little bit of a... Okay, let me select the site. Okay. Not letting me select the site. Okay, so I'm just going to go with... Let's see... Yeah, this one... Might be better. Okay, so not as high of a definition, not definitions, but resolution radar, I should say, as it's moving into Mount Vernon right now. Strong storms just moved through I-49 there, and these storms are producing about 60 mile per hour wind gusts as they are moving into the Mount Vernon area. And then again, back towards Oklahoma, we still see a lot of storms out through here. See if I can go to those that radar, which looks like it may let me go to that radar out through Tulsa. Oh no. It'll let me go to the airport, but that won't show me much. Okay. Okay, maybe it'll let me select it now. There we go. Okay, see, this is a much better image. Much better image. Okay, so, storms along I-44, moving up towards Vineta, Miami, moving into Neosho as those storms continue to work their way to the Springfield area. Again, the Springfield radar, we do have numerous storms starting to move into just west of the Ozarks. Sorry, it's been a very long day. I'm about to sign off in a few minutes, but before I do, the good news is the severe thunderstorm warning that was in effect over towards Newton County for Joplin has expired, and that's good news. But for the rest of the night, expect some gusty winds down here. And for our friends in Columbia, expect some strong winds tonight. Gusting out there about 30 to 40 miles per hour as the storms move through. No storms in St. Louis or anything like that. Most of them are right now in the Columbia area, but the storms are marching eastward, so within the next few hours you're going to get some storms out through there. Also, watch these guys ahead of that main line develop. Moving into the area here. Springfield, Illinois, no storms there, but again, you're going to get more storms later on tonight. Looking up to Chicagoland, again, strong storms out to your west that will continue to work their way off to the west. And then for our friends in Wisconsin, more strong storms up through there, but those are not severe, but producing some decent rainfall. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off, and then go ahead and do a brief overview of the whole United States. And go ahead and clean up the image a little bit here. So here's the rest of the country here. So most of the storms are located through the central part of the country in our neck of the woods here. And go ahead and take a look here before I sign off. These storms in Oklahoma, Springfield, they have the potential of producing some gusty winds and some small hail. Overall, the tornado threat's much smaller now. So if we do have a tornado tonight, more likely it'll be over the northern portion of Oklahoma. Ozarks, mostly going to be some strong winds. Central Missouri, just some thunderstorms, may produce some gusty winds. And again, working our way up to the north as the storms moved out, in process of moving out of Iowa into Illinois. They've really weakened, but again are producing some gusty winds. Behind the line of storms, just some general thunderstorms with some heavy rainfall. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the comments. No comments, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your night. And thank you again for watching, liking, and subscribing.